Alright, guys, we finally have our first look at Wolverine and Deadpool 3. Oh my god, I can't wait to go over my thoughts on his suit and everything. But before we do that, I want to go over some of the rumors surrounding around Deadpool 3, as well as some of the theories I have on what may happen in the movie. So, let's get right to it. So, it's been known for quite some time now that the X-Men and the mutants will be showing up in the MCU at some point in the future. We certainly have gotten some breadcrumbs here and there. We got a mutant drop from Miss Marvel, and we have our first introduction of the mutant of a mutant with Namor and from Black Panther. But aside from that, we really haven't gotten that much X-Men news for the MCU. Everyone's really wondering, when will you see Cyclops? When will you see Logan? When will you see this and that? And fans are getting annoyed that there's no answer to these things, right? But, there might be a reason to this. There might be a reason to all of this delay and why we haven't seen them yet. And that might be because Kevin Feige is maybe he's working on a proper send-off to the Fox Marvel characters, These characters include the Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Daredevil, right? So what I mean by this is that ever since Disney acquired Fox, we never got a proper goodbye to these characters or to these franchises, There was no bow on the ribbon. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Whatever. There was no proper send-off to any of these characters. And say what you will about these characters or these movies or these interpretations, sure they're cheesy now or they were never comics accurate, but they were great for the time. They were the only comic book movies we were getting back then. In fact, if it weren't for the success of the X-Men franchise, we would not be here today with all the amazing comic book movies we're getting today. We owe it to XMen Trilogy, and because of that, they do deserve a proper send-off. And we might just be getting that with Deadpool 3. It's been rumored that we'll be seeing the return of the classic OG X-Men cast. So this includes Famke Janssen, I might be saying her name wrong, as Jean Grey, James Marsden as Cyclops. Great casting with that one. My personal favorite as well. And of course, Halle Berry as Storm. In fact, Halle Berry just posted on Instagram recently, donning this white hair out of nowhere. And, begs the question, like, are you filming a cameo? You're most likely filming a cameo. You're definitely filming a cameo. So we might be seeing the OG X-Men cast return, but hey, we could possibly see the Days of Future Past cast return as well. And again, and also not just them. Will we see the return of the Fantastic Four? Personally, the one granted, we might not see everyone, but come on. Chris Evans as Human Torch. Why not? Chris Evans is already integrated in the MCU, obviously, with Captain America. But, obviously, since he retired his Captain America, how else could we see him? Perfect opportunity here with Human Torch. Perfect. If you ask me, personally, I really loved his Human Torch. Sure, the movies were mid, but I enjoyed them. Thanks to Chris Evans. He really sold that role. He was really funny in it. It's crazy, like all these possible cameos. It's amazing, all the possibilities are wild. But, we do have some confirmations as well to this idea of having a proper send-off. Because just recently, it was confirmed that Jennifer Garner would be returning as Elektra in Deadpool 3. That's crazy, And if you ask me, since Elektra's confirmed for Deadpool 3, that just has to mean that we're gonna see Ben Affleck return as Daredevil, right? It'd be weird to have Elektra then not Daredevil. It's like weird. We're definitely getting Daredevil. So, we're seeing all these possible returns, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, Elektra, Daredevil, Fantastic Four. We're going to see them all come back, and we're going to get a proper send-off to these characters before Kevin Feige introduces the MCU version of these characters. It's only fitting, it's only fair, and the actors deserve just as much. So, what is this all leading up to? All of these possible cameos or supporting characters showing up in Deadpool 3. You know, um how I see it, my own theory is that this will play an integral role into Avengers Secret Wars. So the TLDR basically for Secret Wars is that it's a multiversal event where a bunch of heroes from different universes gather together either to fight each other or fight a common enemy, but something like that basically. So that's the basic story in the comics. So for the MCU version, if that's what they plan to do, seeing as how the name is Secret Wars, the question is how can they execute this whole multiversal aspect to it, where we haven't really seen that much multiversal characters, right? Looking back, who are the multiversal characters we've seen? We've seen Tobey Maguire, we've seen Andrew Garfield, we've seen Professor Xavier, we've seen a few more heroes from the Multiverse of Madness. John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, but he died. And so there are some other minor characters, right? But if those were to be the only characters that we see show up in Secret Wars, it wouldn't be fulfilling. You know what I mean? Because it's just such a small group of new characters we're seeing. And sure, you could say, hey, what if we bring in just the current MCU actors playing different roles? So like we could have Doctor Strange show up as another Doctor Strange from a different universe, which we've seen already. We could have a Captain America show up with a different version, sure. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem fulfilling. It just doesn't seem like a genuine multiversal thing, right? Because those won't be characters we have any history with or affinity towards, right? So the only way this could happen is if we pull in old Marvel characters that we as fans and viewers know and love, right? So that's what Deadpool 3 is doing. It is bringing back these characters that we know and reintroducing them to the younger generation. So like, there's a group, that doesn't or hasn't seen the OG X-Men movie or Daredevil and Fantastic Four. Those movies were 20 plus years ago. So this would be a perfect way to reintroduce these characters to this younger crowd, as well as, playing the nostalgia factor for us oldies, if you will, who have seen these characters. And that way, by reintroducing these characters in Deadpool 3, when they show up in Avengers Secret Wars, it all makes sense, right? It's not forced, it's not out of nowhere, and it's not like just it won't be too much because they were already properly introduced in Deadpool 3. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why that's one of my theories, like all of this. Basically, Deadpool 3 is basically like a precursor to Secret Wars. It is, people might not know it, but I have a feeling that out of all the movies we've seen that we think are playing an integral role to the Avengers movies, like Quantumania and Loki, sure, they're integral to what may happen for Secret Wars, but I really think Deadpool 3 might just be the most important movie for leading up to Avengers, Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars. But other than that, one of my theories for all of this, for what's happening in Deadpool 3, is that this movie is in a way positioning Ryan Reynolds as a strong lead for the Avengers movie. So what I mean by this is that, ever since the end of Endgame, we lost our heart and soul of the MCU when when Iron Man and Captain America exited the franchise, right? Since then, we never really had a hero to follow. I always thought that would be either Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, but that doesn't seem to be happening at all. Although I still think that there's a chance with Spider-Man, but the only reason why it's not happening yet is that, he's too young. It's weird to see like a young Spider-Man leading a group of Avengers, and some of them are old. Like, it's weird to see Spider-Man leading the likes of Doctor Strange and Captain America and War Machine. It just doesn't make sense yet. So maybe in the future, sure. So, but yeah, until then, we haven't had like someone to follow in the MCU, and I think that's one of the big reasons why MCU feels so disconnected right now. It's not just performing as well. It's because we don't have that heart to follow, right? And I'm severely missing that. And I really think Deadpool 3 is positioning Ryan Reynolds to be that, right? I'm not saying he will be the lead in Avengers Secret Wars, but he'll certainly play an integral role in the movie. I could see the likes of, Ryan Reynolds having being a strong lead, sharing it with Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and Loki. Basically characters that have direct relations or implications with multiversal stuff, right? So I think those will be your leads for Avengers Secret Wars. And come on, I mean, Ryan Reynolds, of course, like, he would be a great, like, lead for the movie. His name, the pull he has, is insane. He's definitely one of the most popular actors in social media. He's definitely one of the funniest actors for me. He's one of my favorite actors in the world. And on top of that, I mean, the dude is gorgeous as hell. So why wouldn't you want a gorgeous looking man to lead the Avengers movie? That's certainly a plus. And the having Ryan Reynolds lead, be one of the leads for Secret Wars, the marketing potential for this is astronomical, right? Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that Deadpool 3, and I said it a while ago, Deadpool 3 will be a precursor to Avengers Secret Wars. And when that happens, when we get to Avengers Secret Wars, we're looking at Endgame meets No Way Home. And what I mean by this is that we're going to get that whole assemble, that goosebump. I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. You know how you got goosebumps when the portal scene happened and all the MCU heroes came out, Black Panther and Spider-Man and all of them. Imagine that epicness, that scale, but you're adding in the nostalgia factor from seeing all the Fox characters, right? So imagine in the scene in Avengers Secret Wars. I don't know if it's gonna be a portal or a time traveling device or a multiversal device, whatever. When they fight Kang, everyone's gonna come out. The MCU heroes, Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man. I'm pretty sure Iron Man's gonna return for this, and all the other MCU characters we already know, right? But not just them. We're gonna see the likes of, James Marsden as Cyclops and Halle Berry as Storm and Jean Grey, Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. We're gonna see the Fantastic Four. Hopefully, Chris Evans. It'd be cool to see Chris Evans share a screen with himself. Human Torch and Captain America. That's gonna be so fun, right? So you could see them return. Daredevil, with Ben Affleck, and then Charlie Cox's Daredevil could come in, and then Michael B. Jordan's Human Torch, and all of them. Imagine all of that OG cast, the OG Fox Marvel cast coming out, interacting with the MCU cast and fighting Kang. That is crazy. The scale of that is wild. That's a sure way to not just match the epicness and scale of Endgame, but surpass it because you're playing on that nostalgia factor. The possibilities are wild, and again, it all starts with Deadpool 3. It's crazy, Ryan Reynolds, as a producer in Deadpool 3, he has so much toys to play with. He has all these characters he could pluck from the MCU and from Marvel, and he could just play with them. And you just don't know what's gonna happen with it when he plays with them. What are the implications in the future? It certainly looks interesting. Certainly looks bright. I'm looking forward to it. But so those are my theories with Deadpool 3. So let's move on to my first thoughts and impressions with the Wolverine suit. So right off the bat, the first thing that came to my mind is, it looks perfect. It is insanely comics accurate. It's amazing. And it's funny because I remember the discourse back then with the OG X-Men movie from the early 2000s. I remember people were saying, yeah, you can't do the suit. I mean, it's so yellow. It's gonna be too tacky and whatever. But look at it. It looks perfect. Him beside Deadpool, also comics accurate. It's amazing. Again, it's just proving the point that if you embrace the source material, it'll look great. Just embrace the source material, Don't mess with it. Make some slight tweaks, sure, but you still gotta stay faithful and true to the source material. because this is the kind of result that you get. It's just perfection. Amazing, my God, it looks amazing. And I love how they haven't shown the helmet yet because, if I'm being completely honest, I would love if the helmet was saved for the movie to get that shock factor from the cinema. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna see it first as a promo material, like as a photo, and then we'll see like a proper video of it in the first trailer or second trailer. But I really hope they hold that off till the movie. But man, imagine him with Wolverine's mask. It's gonna look fucking amazing, man. Second thing, excuse me. Second thing that came to my mind is ketchup and mustard. I mean, I can't be the only one who thought of ketchup and mustard right away. It's insane just how vibrant the red and yellow are. It's funny, and I hope to God that Ryan Reynolds plays this as a joke because it's just begging for it. They look like a bottle of ketchup and mustard, and it's so funny. That's my second thought in it. But my third one, and the most important one, is oh my God, this is the MCU magic I've been wanting. This is the MCU magic I've always loved. And what I mean by that is, we've been getting so many MCU movies and shows for the past how many years already, with Disney, mainly because of Disney Plus, right? And with with the amount of movies and shows we're getting, we get so many new characters and whatever here and there, and it loses that wow factor, right? You see Miss Marvel pop up for the first time, you're like, oh, okay, new character. Oh, Moon Knight, oh, okay, new character. And it lost that magic. I remember back in the day when the end of Incredible Hulk, Tony Stark shows up at the bar, came out of nowhere, and it was amazing because it was these cameos were used sparingly, like this fan service, if you will, was used sparingly, and when it was done, it just amazes the audience, right? Because it's just done rarely and it's done perfectly, right? And I haven't felt that MCU magic in so long. And for the first time in a very long time, that's exactly what I felt when I saw this photo. That MCU magic, that like, oh my God, you guys did it. You guys are doing it. You guys are putting Deadpool and Wolverine together. Fans have wanted this for a long time, and you guys delivered. It's crazy, and it's amazing how blessed we are because, if you guys don't remember, when the Deadpool movie came out, that's when Hugh Jackman retired as Wolverine, right? And it was just so annoying that like, oh my God, we finally got a perfect Deadpool movie, and Hugh Jackman retired as Logan. And it was kind of annoying as a fan that we weren't ever gonna see them interact with each other. Next thing you know, many years later, we're getting it. That's the magic. That's the MCU magic I love so much, and I hope this is the kind of magic MCU can deliver, consistently. I know MCU is in a rocky path right now, it's very inconsistent. But if they deliver this kind of magic, then I would have no questions with MCU. They would still be, in top tier. But overall, I love this. I love our first look at the suit. This gives me so much like excitement already. I mean, I'm already excited as is for Deadpool movie, but this just like put it through the roof. But I'm curious, do you like the suit of Wolverine? Some find it tacky, some find it too yellow, some actually wanted to have the classic X-Men suit, the black suit. Is that what you wanted? If so, comment them down below. I'm curious to know. Are you excited for the Deadpool movie as much as me? 'Cause I'm super excited for it. It's a movie I'm most looking forward to. So yeah, comment them all down below. Uh, because yeah, sorry, I'm just really excited with this. This got me all hyped up, and I just couldn't contain it. So yeah, this has been my first coverage actually of anything, of any movie that's in current production. Definitely had fun with it. If you had fun watching me blabber about all of this, I would appreciate a subscribe somewhere here. I really don't know where they get positions. It's somewhere there. Leave a like because you know what? I like likes. That's cool. So yeah, if you guys want to see more of this kind of material, let me know down below as well. Until then,